Picture your company as a movie. Now imagine your employees, your leaders, even your recruiters, they're the cast and the crew. But here's the twist. Your script was written for drama, and your team thinks they're filming a documentary. Is it chaos, confusion? Probably a lot of, why doesn't this feel right? That mismatch. It's culture misaligned with strategy. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to the Story-Driven Business Podcast, where we decode what it really takes to build a magnetic business from the inside out. I'm your host, Susanna Rantanen, known as the world's leading modern employer branding expert and strategist, and your personal guide to story-driven leadership and branding. In today's episode, we're digging into something powerful, almost revolutionary, I would say, Competitive Values Framework by Kim S. Cameron and Robert E. Quinn. This tool shows you how to connect your business strategy, leadership style, performance, expectations, communication tone, and even your hiring profiles, all through the lens of your organizational culture. I've used this tool tons of times when helping our clients diagnose and change their organizational cultures. And the best part, when you understand this connection, you gain a roadmap to transform your business into a story-driven brand. One where every piece of content, every leadership message, every recruitment ad supports the same strategic mission. No more guessing, no more generic fluff, only resonance. Let's dive in. I'm going to start by digging into the Competing Values Framework, CVF. It is one of the most respected culture models in the world, and for good reason. Think of it as a 2-axis grid. On one of the axes, do you prioritize flexibility or stability? And on the other one, are you more focused on your internal people or the external market? Pretty simple questions. This creates 4 culture types, so visualize a 2x2 matrix. And on your top left, you have what is called the clan. It's flexible and internal focuses. This is a family-style culture. Think team spirit, loyalty, people development. HR is a caretaker. Leadership is mentorship. Then you have your top right, Adhocracy. This is flexible plus external focus. A startup, innovation-driven, fast-moving culture. Here, leadership is visionary, risk-taking is applauded, and HR is a catalyst for change. Then you've got your bottom right. This is the market. This is stable plus external, with a focus on results, metrics, achievement, a place where performance rules and leaders are competitive. HR is very strategic and performance driven. And then we have the bottom left, which is called the hierarchy. This is stable and internal focus. Think bureaucracy, process, control. Leadership is very formal and structured. HR operates as compliance and consistency guardians. Each of these culture types are very valid depending on what your business needs to succeed. The trouble begins when your strategy screams, let's scale like a startup, but then your culture whispers, let's just keep things very safe and secure. Now I want to deepen this. The OCAI framework is the Organizational Culture Assessment Instrument, and this is the diagnostic tool that is connected to the Competing Values Framework, and it measures your culture across 6 critical dimensions. Now, this isn't about any vibes or values written on a wall, it's about real behavior. So you have 6 critical dimensions. The first one are the dominant characteristic. What's the overall feel? Do people say we are like a family, or is it more like we're goal-driven? The second dimension is the leadership style. Are leaders mentors, entrepreneurs, coordinators, or competitors? The third one is the management of employees. Do we empower people, or do we micromanage them? The fourth dimension is organizational glue. What is it that holds us together? Is it loyalty? innovation, or policies or targets. Then the fifth one is strategic emphasis. Are we aiming to grow through innovation, efficiency, people, or results? The sixth emphasis or dimension is success criteria. What do we celebrate? Is it new ideas? Is it team spirit, cost control, or market dominance? For business leaders and HR, this insight is gold. And I want to paint you a picture. So if you're in a scale-up phase, your strategy demands flexibility, external orientation, and speed. That's the Adhocracy culture. Scale up is when you go from Adhocracy to market culture. This is where you need an HR who recruits trailblazers, risk takers. Your HR team should be risk tolerant, fast thinkers, proactive trailblazers, and storytellers. And your hiring messages should celebrate innovation, courage, and boldness. Now you want to flip that. If you are that cost-efficient, mature company under pressure to deliver stable margins, hierarchy or market culture might be a better fit. You'll be hiring people who want stability and they do not want to work in chaos. Recruiters here should value detail, consistency, and reliability. Performance goals aren't about failing fast, they're about avoiding failure altogether. So you want to think of the OCAI like your culture compass. It shows you what you are versus what you want to be. Here's where it all gets very juicy. The OCAI doesn't just tell you who you are. It tells you what you want to be or what you should want to be. There's a quiz in my free PDF about strategic organizational culture, and I will add that link to the show notes page of this episode that you can find at modernemployerbrand.com/podcast195. In this quiz, you'll distribute 100 points across 4 statements per dimension, 1 for each culture type. And you do it twice, once for your current state and once for your preferred state. And then you compare. And you will often see a big gap. And that gap is where the story conflicts. That is where your plot isn't matching your scenes. It's why your people are disengaged, why your messaging feels off, your leaders are confused about how to lead, and you may make hiring mistakes because you are hiring for the past, not for the future. And that discovery, that moment is just so powerful. So this information tells you exactly where to shift. Not only your culture, but your leadership development, your entire people strategy, your performance indicators, your hiring criteria, even your business's values, customer promise, and of course your employer brand messages. I want to make this even more concrete for HR and talent acquisition folks listening. So if you are in a clan culture, your ideal talent profiles value community. Their recruitment should emphasize collaboration, flexibility, and support. You want to have team players. Your best candidates will want connection, mentorship, internal mobility. They are not jealous of releasing career critical information. They want to share their best practices and their experiences internally with each other. If you're hiring or promoting team leaders, their dominant leadership trait is that of a mentor who sees the organizational hierarchy like upside down, with them at the bottom as the enablers of the success of their team and individuals. And as the HR in a clan culture, you are the employee champion. You're the recruiter of team players and the enabler of constant learning and development. Then, if you are in the Adhocracy culture, you want to hire innovators, people who thrive with autonomy, creativity, and experimentation. These candidates need to feel excited about constant change and the freedom to try new things. Their focus is on the market and wanting to contribute to something the market hasn't experienced before. Your leaders must be visionary and they must storytell what the amazing future looks like for your customers, employees, and the company, so that everyone is excited about the opportunity to have their major impact on the future vision. Your HR operates as a change agent and recognizes free thinkers and creatives from afar. All marketing communication for customers, candidates, and employees must sound creative and visionary compelling. And the best way to achieve this is through storytelling. Then when we talk about the market culture, this is what requires high performers. You need employees and candidates who really want to win. They look for roles where they can beat KPIs, get promoted fast, and be rewarded for results. Status is important for them, and that comes with why your business and employer brand are very key to your business success. Your HR must step up here as a strategic business partner and focus on hiring those high performers and sales dynamos. Ultimate customer satisfaction is the strategic priority for your employees and your business, which means that your high performers and sales dynamos must love customers. In the hierarchy culture, you need structure lovers who enjoy the safety and the security of lack of change. Your ideal employees and leaders are very methodological people who get joy from ticking of boxes, following protocol, and maintaining order. Compliance, accuracy, and fairness drive their engagement. Your HR is the operations enforcer who knows how to hire process and protocol first, detailed doers, with no interest in looking outside the box or experimenting with anything. You want your people and your processes all emulate efficiency and effectiveness, but also high quality. Same job titles, but totally different personality fits depending on your culture, and then your culture depends on your business's strategic emphasis. In simple terms, a scale-up needs bold recruiters, a cost-efficient business needs meticulous ones. Putting a procedure junkie into a startup, that is like giving a librarian a fire extinguisher, completely useless in an open mic night. Now, cultures evolve, and they should, as businesses evolve too, but they rarely evolve without friction. Startups often begin as adhocracies, risk-taking, bold, informal, literally chaotic, and trying to just get the sales. And as they grow, they start to crave the clan energy to stabilize their internal dynamics. Then comes the need for hierarchy. The more you have people, you need systems, you need rules, you need HR policies, and you need some kind of a consistent way of work. And finally, scale and profit start to dominate, shift to market occurs. But here's the trap. If your people fall in love with the adhocracy, they might resist the structure. Or if your leaders crave market aggression but haven't built the process muscle from hierarchy, you get burnout, chaos, and turnover. So to sum it up, this is the typical life cycle. Startups should focus on adhocracy culture. When you start growing, you start shifting towards a clan culture, which is the more family building oriented. Then as you mature, you need some hierarchy for structure. And as you start scaling, you want to evolve into a market culture for competitive advantage, growth, and brand recognition. Transition demands new leadership, new kinds of personality traits, and recruitment language. Culture inertia is culture death. You can't scale your business if your culture stays stuck. And understanding this life cycle helps you build a company and lead with empathy and business strategy. And this is where my magnetic employer branding method shines. We take the diagnosed culture and the strategy behind it and translate that into a narrative framework. Internal storytelling brings the culture to life. It turns abstract values into real, repeatable behaviors. Recruitment content reflects not just what a job is, but who thrives in this environment. Leadership communication mirrors the culture quadrant. Mentors in a clan, visionaries in adhocracy, competitors in market, and coordinators in hierarchy. And your tone of voice becomes consistent, recognizable, and magnetic because it matches your true culture, not a copycat version of Google or Spotify. So this method, story-driven employer branding method, helps you shift culture when needed because stories not only reflect culture, they change it. Now, here's your culture to strategy challenge. I want you to go to modernemployerbrand.com/podcast195 and download the free mini OCAI assessment I've linked in the show notes. Rate where your company culture is now and where you want it to be, and then reflect. Does your strategy match this culture, or are you filming a documentary with a rom-com cast? Share your quadrant in the comments on LinkedIn for me. Let's open the conversation about strategy-aligned culture and story-driven business. And in next week's episode, we'll go even deeper. I'll show you how to build a storytelling structure that doesn't just describe your culture, but helps you evolve it through narrative, empathy, and magnetic clarity. Until then, stay magnetic.